Steve, just your assessment for that?
Yeah, look, massive pride in the boys and the shift they put in, the physicality they left out in the field was outstanding. Disappointed we probably didn't get something from the game for the group because I felt we deserved something. But I think the fight they showed, a lot of great skill out there as well. So yeah, massively proud of the group.
Best performance in your area so far?
I think, yeah, probably for different reasons. I think going away from home, when you think back to England, sort of that, I think, look, this group, like I said all the time, they're unbelievable to work with. They're always learning, they're growing, they wear sort of the growth as well. I know it's tough for people, everyone wants us to win, but I think the way the group are developing, and then when you think of the start, what we had in England and where we come to, this performance, I think, tells you so much about the group and the learning and where the group can go to too.
And the defensive performance, that's what you want in terms of the physicality, in terms of the hits that you had as well, the dominance you had, the elements of that.
Yeah, look, I think Lids has done a great job in under contact, but I think the mindset, the group, and again, there's lots of things around learning. When we come in the autumn, there's lots of new systems coming in, lots of different language and the way they've adapted and developed, but also there's, as much as you'll see a lot of toughness in our group, there was a lot of skill in around the defence as well. A lot of the reads of the young backs, how they got up high on edges and put pressure on Ireland's skills as well, and probably another day as a couple of bounces could have gone different ways and we could have flipped that field, but I thought the mindset of the group was outstanding.
Dewi, did you feel like you did come in with your performances over the last couple of games?
Yeah, definitely. I think like the confidence in the group has grown massively. Our belief has grown, and it's such a powerful thing, belief in yourself and in the group. Look, we're massively confident that it will come, but not just because it's going to happen. Steve has alluded to it for us that we put the work in for it, and I think we've seen the growth in this group from round 1 to round 4 now, and if we can keep growing, whether it's massive growth or incremental growth, then that win is just around the corner for us.
Steve, just one of his carries, obviously a brilliant performance, but just three tries in 3 games. You showed the faith in him to bring him back into the fold. How much are you pleased with what he's done with the ball and giving that extra physicality as well?
Yeah, look, he's been a massive credit, and I think all the applause should go to Reece in around how he's come back into the environment, how he's been open, the mindset he's come in, the way he trains as well. I think, look, you see the output of Reece of scoring tries, but I think the effort he puts in training, and again, we're probably disappointed he got held up on one, and again, there's little things around that, but I think also there's competition being built in that area. I think where Nicky Smith is putting pressure on Reece, you've got Garth Thomas underneath that as well. There's lots of pressure, and I think that is building competition, which we need in a squad. But Reece can't take anything away from it, and I think there's a bigger ceiling in Reece too. I think Reece is playing really well at the minute, but I believe there's much more to come from Reece as well, which is exciting, and I think that goes right across this group.
Steve's talking about growth. Obviously, it's clear to see there's been huge improvements, but how important is it that you do finally get our win against Italy next weekend?
Well, look, listen, we believe we can win games, but I think it's easy now to go and think just because we've had performances that the win will come. The international sport doesn't work like that, and I think we're a team that we can't cut corners yet. Like, there's still the reality check just because we've had performances, which again is creating confidence and belief in our group. But we haven't got a God-given right to go and get a win against Italy on next Saturday, because they've grown. They went through probably a similar thing for us for a long period of time, and it took a while to get that. But I do believe the win is around the corner for us. But that win will only come if we keep going back to when we start back on Monday, getting better at what we do. And we're asking this group every training session how we can accelerate, but also we have to accelerate faster than others to catch up, because ultimately we are 12th in the world, and 12th in the world for a reason. So I don't think there's a God-given right to do that. We have to recover really well. We have to come back in on Monday prepared to earn the right to get into the situations where we can win games.
How pleased are you as well with the physicality of your pack? Because a lot of people were, talking Ireland up in terms of the strength of their pack, but your 8 really did stand up today, didn't they?
Yeah, on the bench, I think that's where there's this competition coming as well, and I think there's a couple of boys to probably add to the competition in our pack as well. So that's exciting for us. But I think the work that's been done with Duncan and Paul, like Paul coming in short notice has been outstanding with the scrum. I think there's a mindset, there's a confidence. Having Franny back adds a little bit of confidence to that tight head side as well, and his experience. So for me, like I said, the loose head side, there's competition really coming in the hookers. There's competition in the tight heads, like Azza come back into training this last week. So look, I've always said from the start, we're on a journey. I know it probably frustrates people when I say it, but I do truly believe that you can't get to something unless you build a real foundation. I believe we're starting to build a foundation, and I know international sport's about winning as well, but we are not a team that cut corners to get to that point yet.
Yeah, and how important a player has Alex Mann become as well? I think 32 tackles according to the stats. Got under the skin of Ireland as well. I mean, he's been excellent, hasn't he?
Like outstanding. I think probably Manny doesn't get applauded as he deserves. There's always probably question marks over him, whereas we see the player both sides of the ball. We see how he trains, like how he recovers, how he looks after himself, because he's not the biggest man in the world, but the detail that he goes into, whether it be a walkthrough, whether it be a review, a preview, he knows he's growing as a leader as well. So look, I think Manny, I think, is an outstanding rugby player, and he's only going to get better and better with confidence and ultimately building a team that consists of Manny.
Absolutely.
Alex, Ben there.
Eric, can I just ask, the improvement in physicality, what sort of led to it in the last couple of games? In the autumn, I know you played some good teams, but maybe the power wasn't there. The last 2 games, you really turned it around and massively improved in that area. What's sort of been the reason for that? Is it a mindset thing? Something that you don't coach in? I don't know.
No, look, I think the mindset's always been there from this group. As Steve spoke about earlier, Lids coming in has been class around contact area, around defensive work. I think ultimately time has been quite big for us. I think it's hard to fit everything in a short amount of time. Like we did a little bit of D and then probably more on the attacking side of the ball in the autumn. This campaign we've been allowed to really hone in on D, and Steve's been massive around how much effort we're putting into that D, our detail of that defensive system, and I think that detail allows us to get off the line and be physical. So I think, yeah, look, a lot of credit's got to go to Steve and Lids, because I think the mindset from the boys has always been there, but the detail underpinning that mindset has been massive for us.
Steve, did you feel that maybe the penalty that led to before the Kermit try was maybe a bit harsh than the quick throw?
Yeah, look, there's lots of stuff we could go, but ultimately we're not a team that probably gets some of the rubs at the minute, and you probably look at the penalty count. We've come away from home as 13-7. We've only conceded 7 with making over 280 tackles. So for us, we feel we've got to build our reputation. We've got, and again, it's something that we're working tirelessly at, and the boys, you look at how much Ireland threw us to be in those situations. There are a couple of things we probably always want to go back to, but there's lots of other things in the game that we could have still added more to it, we believe. So I'm probably not going to get into the ins and outs of all that. The thing I'm looking at is we're coming away from home, we're building more of a reputation, I think, in around that penalty count, which again, there was there to see in the autumn how many penalties we give away in England. So we need to continue to build that sort of reputation.
Sorry, Steve, I was actually going to ask you about the final try, because people watching on telly were saying that there was a question mark about a forward pass, the final Ireland try. Did you get a chance to look at that?
Yeah, I did have a look at it, yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I did have a look at it. And yeah, I was trying to get some messages on, but obviously that was, and again, look, they're the things where we're at the minute, and yeah, it's, look, it's fine margins in test match sport, isn't it? But I think for us as a group, I'm not going to sit here and quibble about 1 or 2 moments in the game, because there's so many moments in the games, and the only thing that's going to get us better is ourselves. Like, it ain't going to change the result now. But I think, look, there are bits, but ultimately we've got to build experience in these situations. I think, yeah, he's growing as a captain, how we get messages on, how he sees it. He's becoming outstanding at working closely with referees. So, look, it's big for us, but I'm not going to sit here quiver by it. I did ask a question and looked at it a few times as well, but look, it didn't happen.